Today's poker tournament was played on Ignition, a US-facing poker site on the Bodog and Bovada network. For a link for the latest deposit bonus and information, use the link in the description. What is up, everybody? Poker Pastor here, getting ready to review my deep run in the Ignition $82 knockout in mid-May. This is the first of, we'll see how many videos. I'm doing a 15-minute video open to everybody. We'll kind of cover the first few hands of this tournament, and then we will record the rest of the parts. Those will be available to our subscribers. All you have to do is be a subscriber of our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/pokerpastor, and you have access to the full set of videos. Now, this is going to be a blind review. I have not reviewed any of the hands in this tournament since I played it. I feel like that gives you the best analysis, because I'm kind of going into it blind, almost reviewing it as if I wasn't the one playing it, and talking through things. It also gives me a chance to see, oh, gee, I made some mistakes, and learn from it as well. So we're going to dig into this and see where we go from here. So starting off here, 8-3, playing, 3-4, we're not playing. Here we get Queen Jack on the button here. Flatting's okay, 3-betting's okay. I've been doing some more flatting in these spots and having a little bit more of a callback range, especially with non-suited hands. So this is fine. Flop comes King 9-7. Our opponent checks. We check as well. Turns a king, and now he bets. We call. I don't mind a float here. We block King Queen. We block King Jack. It's unlikely he has a king in the hand, provided we've got some sort of plan here on the river. River is a 6 of spades, and we just check. I don't like that. Like, if we're gonna float the turn here, like when he checks here, we should be betting really big. Yes, we can see he's got a 9-8, and he's got a second pair, and he's probably not folding second pair. But like the flush draw got there. He checked the flop. So we feel pretty good that he doesn't have a flush draw at this point. Like, most flush draws are going to bet the flop, check turn, not check the flop, bet the turn. So like, we should be betting really big here, with the exact intention of getting a 9 to fold. You know, betting it the way we'd bet a king, and betting it the way we would bet a flush. Yeah, the straight draw got there too. Maybe that's a consideration as well. But I still think this is a place we should be betting. We check it down and we lose the hand. We get a limp, 2 limpers against our ace king. We ISO. Good, good, good. We get called in 2 spots. No surprise. Check, check. We have the second nut flush draw. I hope we're betting here. We check. Interesting. I've been doing more check backs, so maybe this was a little experimental here. But in position, I think that should be a c-bet. And we check call. Riffer is nice for us. We bet somewhat chunky. And we do get called by second pair. I was going to say the sizing might be a little bit large, but I guess, you know, like, there's some weaker kings that could call us. It's like with the king of clubs in our hand, though, it's less likely for them to have a king. Unless they had like ace king with the ace of clubs. And obviously, like, if they had that, we wouldn't expect them to be limping. So this might be a little ambitious, but it is Iggy, and we do get paid off here on the river. And we fold. I'm fine with that. Pocket 8, standard open, called in 2 spots. Ah, there's a nice flop. We c-bet here, as we should. It should be going for 3 streets of value. We know aces can call us. Turn is a 10 of hearts. A little chunky here. I know we're trying to build a pot. I assume the sizing is because it's a bounty and we're trying to get a guy, you know, we're trying to build a really, really big pot, but this is ambitious. Like, we want to keep ace 9, ace 7, ace 6 in. Like, we need to keep the sizing a little bit smaller. And he does fold, and we don't get to see what he had. We're off and running. I think we get down pretty low at one point. I think there's a bluff that goes really bad in this tournament. 9-3, ace 3 from the small blind. No. 8-9 from the button. See, this is a spot we definitely need to call. This is a missed spot for sure. When you've got, we're getting 3.5 to 1 to call. we have all of these guys covered, so these are all guys we could stack for a bounty. Like, even in a non-bounty tournament, like, that's okay to see a flop there. You get the same hand here, and we raise it. So if we're gonna call three people's, if we're not gonna call three people's raise, why are we opening? Like, it's the same hand. Like, we should have called the previous hand. Get called in two spots. We're sandwiched here position wise. This is a really dry board. I can go either way with this one. Like, if we want to shut down, it's fine. Definitely heads up. We should be c-betting this. Here we raise to 120. We get called in one street. We're out of position. We check. We're doing a lot of checks out of position here, so I'm okay with it. Turn the flush draw. We check again. I assume with the intention of calling. River is a brick, and we just check it down and fold. I mean, if we bet turn there, then it gives us a chance to rep the river. Obviously, we didn't know that the river was going to be a king. So I think I like a delayed c-bet here. We picked up a little bit of equity. It gives us a chance to see if he has a king. He might just shut down, especially if he doesn't have a heart. And then we can always, shut down the river if the river's not favorable. But in this case, like, had we done that, I think we could have bet river and been in a pretty good spot and probably taken this pot down. The old 7K all in at 2040. Nice. Let's see. Oh, let me make sure we didn't defend here. We bet. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we get limped, we re-raise, we get called. C-bet really chunky here. So I guess the question is what are we c-betting strong with here? Because this is kind of at the bottom end of our range, obviously. I could see a sizing similar with like a Jack 10 and diamond stuff, but like, what are we sizing the top of our range here with? Like a set of eights, set of queens. Like, I feel like this is a little. For me, I feel like this isn't very polarized. This makes me feel capped. Like, I feel like we would bet 3/4 pot here if we had a set of eights. So like, I feel like this kind of is a leak, a little bit of a tell for me. We do get called. And we flop a flush draw, and see, this is the problem, right? Like, so we bet pot pre, right? Like, we're trying to say we have a monster here, like a 2-pair hand, like maybe like ace 8 or queen 8. We would bet this big, I guess, like something that was somewhat vulnerable. And when the turn's a king, now we're shutting down, even though we picked up, we actually picked up equity with the flush draw. Granted, we do get the free roll at the flush draw if we check behind, but now the problem is the story we're telling, right? Like, this screams we're vulnerable because we're saying, hey, we're strong, or at least we're repping strength. I mean, like, short of having like queen jack of diamonds here, and even again, like, we're in a bounty, we're trying to build pots. Like, I don't think queen jack of diamonds queen jack of diamonds shouldn't check here, right? Like, we should continue betting. So like, bet check, like, this line just says like we're really weak, and so now, like, we're super exploitative here. Like, our opponent can just like bet a really wide range here on the river. And what am I doing? What is this call? This is terrible. What do we beat? What was this? I'm so confused. Yikes. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what did we think? I don't know. Maybe we misclicked that one. Like, that's almost like, I hope it was a misclick. Like we should have bet smaller flop, bet the turn, and not hero the river here, because we don't block anything. Like, we literally don't block anything. We're basically putting him on, like, I can't even think of a hand we're putting him on. Okay, well, that might have been a bad misclick. That's fun. Blind reviews are dangerous. Where are we here? We bounce around because of ignition. 7 here. I think I'm okay. Like, I've been trying to get a lot of these ace garbage hands out of my range. You just lose so much money with them. They don't play well post flop. Like, ISO's not bad here at all, but I think this is a spot where I'm just choosing not to, and I'm okay with it. I'd rather ISO here with the Jack 10 suited, 10-9 suited, something that plays well post flop, than inflating a pot. So I'm alright with that. 3 is a fold. Queen 10 suited. We opt to 4x. We're doing some weird stuff here. I wonder if we were experimenting a little bit. Or I'm not sure why we 4x there. Fold here. 2-5 is a fold. 7 is a fold. Not doing anything with 6-7. Not 10-3, 2-6, Queen 7, 3-7, 3-9, 3-4, 10-4, 6-8. We're just card dead. I don't think I do anything here with the ace-8. Nope. Okay, good. King 2, Jack 5, Jack 3, Queen 8. I doubt. Nope. Shouldn't be in our opening range from under the gun, even with a guy sitting out at the table. So we get to see a free flop here. Goes check, check. I think a bet's okay here. Like, I think at this point he's saying he has nothing. Our pair can be vulnerable. Let's just try to take it down on the turn. But we check it down and win a small one. This is another spot. I think I remember this hand. Like, this is... We're getting 5-1. Like, if you know of any information on the big blind, if you know the big blind's just going to complete and or the big blind's kind of soft, like, I don't hate playing this hand here. We're getting really, really good odds. Yeah, we would have flopped top 2 pair. Being results oriented, of course. Like, I can go either way with that one. If you're not comfortable playing that hand 5 ways, then don't feel bad about folding it. I don't hate it. Here we ISO with the ace-9. Get a fold. I'm fine with that. Don't mess around with the ace-6, 2-5. Let's see what happens here with 10-9. Okay, we decide to ISO here. This is a little loose for me, being that we're not suited here. And I know from digging into my... Oh, you know what? I know why we did it. Okay, this is why right here, the bounty tournament. So because this guy was like super short, we figured there's a good chance he's just gonna stick it in here. We go ahead and decide to ISO, hoping that he's gonna stick it in, and also hoping that that mitigates the risk. He does call, and of course we get 2 callers. This guy should have squeezed here. Like, this is from his stack size. He's 30 big blinds deep. This is a perfect place to squeeze. Like, he's got to know we're both going wide. So, like, I'm surprised this guy just flatted. It goes check, check, check. That's fine. Check. This guy should absolutely be betting here. And we all check it down. And he does win the pot, but that's definitely not that I've room to talk with a couple of plays we've had earlier here, but like definitely should be just squeezing there really wide, and feeling good about it. So I don't mind our ISO now that I see why. So here we have a limp under the gun, and then we limp behind. I don't mind this because like when we raise here, it looks insanely strong, and it also it puts us kind of in an awkward spot because if anybody comes behind, like over the top, then it looks like, I mean, how good do we feel about our 9s if we raise here and somebody raises behind? Like, we almost have to fold, especially only 40 big blinds deep. But like if we limp and somebody raises, and we can still call and set mine profitably, whereas like if we raise and get re-raised, we have to fold. So actually, like, this is one of the few hands I don't mind flatting here. And obviously you can flat your bigger pairs and smaller pairs and still be polarized, but have a very, very thin flopping range. And I don't think that gives away too much information, especially on Iggy where people don't have the stats anyway. So interesting. So we flop the overpair with the gutter ball, and there's a limp in front. Now, without knowing any idea what I do, I hope I raise here. We block 9-7, we block 9-8, like... We can take control of the hand here. This bet is super stabby and weak. He could be doing this with some weak flush draws. He could be doing this with an open ender. He could be doing this with second pair. Like there's a lot of weak crap in his range. And we just come along for the ride. I don't like that at all. I'd rather raise here, find out where we're at. And so this guy raises for us. This guy would have called anyway, so we get to live vicariously through him. Let's see what we do here. We come along for the ride. Turns a queen. Not the best card for us. And he lips again. Like, this is like, what are you doing? Let's see what we do here. Yeah, we call again. This guy, is he going to raise again? Is he going to double bump? Nope, he just calls. So we get a free river card. The river's a 6. He mins again. Why not? Just keep going. I have a feeling we just call here. Ugh. No, okay, we raised. Like, I would have preferred this raise earlier. I mean, we're basically telling people we have a 6, which, I mean, this isn't a terrible card to bluff. You know, like, it's hard for people to have a 6 in their hand. I mean, there definitely is some 6s in their range, but just anytime the board pairs, it makes it less likely somebody has a 6. This guy raised on the flop, like, that's more likely to be... I mean, I don't think he would raise on the flop and then just call a min bet on the turn. So we can take all the sets out of his range. Open ender's probably the most likely. He could have an overpair, but again, I don't think an overpair is going to, like, I guess if he had 9s or 10s or jacks somehow he got there. Like the queen could slow him down. But if the queen slowed him down, like, I don't like that. I don't mind this. Like, I guess we can rep a 6 here. First guy folds. The second guy re-raises us. This is so sick. Yeah, this is the bluff went wrong. And what is the story this guy's telling, right? Like, he min bets, calls a raise, min bets again, min bets, re-raise it. Like, this is just such a weird line. And you see some stuff like this on Iggy, and you're just like, what the heck? Like, what is this? But, like, I mean, again, like, maybe we're trying to rep the hand he has. Like, maybe he had a hand... Like I said very in the beginning, like he could have just had a 6. Like maybe he had A6 suited. Maybe he had a hand as strong as 6-7, and now we're coming to the river and he hits a 6. I still don't know why you would min bet here. I think if I go to the raw file, I can actually see what he had. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause the video here and leave a cliffhanger, and then you guys who are subbed, you guys can go into part 2 of the video. We'll find out what we had. And if you're not subbed at twitch.tv/pokerpaxter, all it takes is a tier 1 sub. If you got Amazon Prime, you can actually use your Amazon Prime tier sub to get it for free, and then you can get access to all of our exclusive sub-only videos. Thanks. We'll be back for part 2 in just a bit.